Grace's marriage to Noah, arranged by her father, was fraught with difficulties. Noah's infidelity and sudden demand for divorce left Grace devastated and forced to return to her parents. However, the very next day brought an unexpected twist. This unforeseen event would become the catalyst for Grace's remarkable turnaround.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Drama of Destiny. This story we're about to tell has a shocking twist beyond your imagination. First, let's get started.
My husband betrayed me. He cruelly told me, "Get out, because my mistress is pregnant." Fine, but won't you regret it? Regret? No way, haha. Just get out, will you? He laughed off the last chance I offered him. If that's how he felt, I had no reason to care about him anymore. I signed the divorce papers and moved back to my parents' house. But at the time, I had no idea that he would come to me the next day, bowing his head in apology. My name is Grace. My father is an executive at a publicly traded company. After graduating from college, I got a job at a company run by one of my father's acquaintances. It was what you'd call a connections hire, but I worked hard to learn the ropes so that no one could talk behind my back. Over time, my colleagues and superiors began to recognize my efforts. I started to enjoy my work and led a fulfilling life. However, my father seemed worried that I was always working and didn't have any male suitors. He introduced me to Noah, the most capable man among his subordinates, and arranged a meeting for us. Noah is the most promising young man in the company. No, thanks to the guidance of my superiors and colleagues, it seemed that my father and Noah had mutual trust in each other. Although I agreed to the meeting out of respect for my father, as I learned more about Noah's character, I began to think that marrying him might actually bring me happiness. After a few dates, I started to find his assertive nature quite reliable. Yes, I gradually began to be drawn to Noah. When my father noticed my feelings, he encouraged me to marry him. So, Noah, what do you honestly think of my daughter? Well, I'm considering our relationship with marriage in mind. Once Noah declared his intention to marry me in front of my father, things progressed quickly. Every time they met, my father and Noah would happily discuss wedding plans and the new house. Seeing how happy it made my father, I began to think that getting married wouldn't be so bad after all. Before the wedding, Noah had one condition for me. He wanted me to quit my job and become a full-time housewife. I was reluctant to give up a job I loved, but at that time, I was so eager to marry Noah that I accepted his condition. This is how our married life began, but as soon as we got married, Noah changed his attitude toward me. I didn't really want to get married this quickly. I couldn't believe my ears. What? But you considered marriage, which is why you accepted the meeting, right? That was because your father asked me to. How could I refuse a request from my boss? Noah continued, looking annoyed. With your father so enthusiastic, how could I refuse to marry you? Well, if I marry you, my career should be more and more assured, so I went along with it. So, you married me just to climb the ladder? Of course, haha. Why else would someone like me marry a boring woman like you? Noah made fun of me for saying that. I wanted to argue back, but I had quit my jobs and had no income. Lacking confidence, I couldn't bring myself to confront him. Soon, Noah stopped coming home and started drinking out on the town frequently. When I asked where he was going, he didn't even bother to answer, saying, "It's none of your business." The smell of perfume on him when he came home, and the business cards from various places stuffed in his suit pockets, made it clear he was out with women almost every night. However, even though he frequented those kinds of places, he didn't seem to be having an affair with any specific woman. It was probably just business related. I kept telling myself that, as the wife of a successful man, I had to endure certain things. I tried my best not to think about it, but the truth was, this marriage full of endurance was wearing me down. I wanted to spill everything to someone. But since I quit my job and drifted apart from my old friends, I had no one to confide in. If I leaned on my parents, my dad would definitely overreact, and it might affect Noah's career. So I had no choice but to endure it all alone. It was around this time that Noah's unusual and rapid promotion to department head was decided. I was relieved I hadn't discussed anything with my dad. When I heard about his promotion, that was the first thing that made me feel at ease. Maybe because of his promotion, Noah had been in a better mood at home recently. He still didn't come home much, but at least when he was around, he didn't belittle or make snide remarks at me as often as before. But then I found out that Noah's good mood wasn't just because of his promotion. One day, while he was in the shower, I saw a notification pop up on his phone, which he had forgotten to lock. Had so much fun today, I just saw you, but I already want to see you again. Noah can't wait for our sleepover this weekend. A message full of heart symbols. It was clearly from his mistress. She mentioned a sleepover this weekend, but Noah had told me he wouldn't be home this weekend because of a business trip. Convinced that Noah was having an affair, I checked the name of the sender. The message was from someone named Kate. After that, I decided to find out who this Kate really was. Fortunately, Noah seemed to have no idea that I had discovered his affair. He didn't even bother to lock his phone and continued to exchange lovey-dovey messages with Kate. From their messages, I was able to figure out her full name and address. Kate Garrett. I recognized that name. But where had I heard it before? As I tried desperately to remember, a photo of the two of them together arrived on Noah's phone. The moment I saw Kate's face, I let out an ah. Kate was the daughter of the president of one of our business partners. I had met her once at a company party, and her flashy outfit had left a lasting impression on me. I couldn't believe that Noah's affair partner was Kate. It was hard to believe at first, but the photo, name, and address all matched. There was no doubt about it. But Kate. I remembered the rumors about her. I had to tell Noah the truth. I told him, we need to talk, and asked him to come home early. Surprisingly, Noah returned home without any fuss, but before I could say anything, he spoke up first. I have something to tell you too, he said, with a serious look on his face. She's pregnant, so I'm going to leave you and be with her. What? Before I could tell him what I knew, Noah had already made his move. He must be talking about Kate. But I never thought it was pregnancy. To my surprise, he said, the decision has already been made. I've always respected your father, but after meeting her, I realized how pointless my marriage with you has been. The right woman for me isn't someone like you, who has nothing to offer, but someone like her, who has it all. So, you're saying you want a divorce? Yeah, that's right. You need to get out of this house. I asked Noah, I thought was my last chance. Are you sure about this? You won't regret it? Noah burst out laughing. Regret? No way. Let me tell you something good. My girlfriend, she's the daughter of a company president. She's on a whole different level than your dad, who's just a company executive. I thought you respected my father. Respect? That was just a front for my career. Once I marry her, I'll be the next president of her company. I can quit my current job anytime, haha. I won't have to suck up to your dad anymore, haha. I didn't care how much he insulted me. But I always thought he'd be sincere when it came to my dad and his job. I never imagined he didn't even have that integrity. The moment I realized that, my feelings for Noah vanished as if they had never existed. I see. Then I won't say anything more. Do what you want. Yeah, I'll do just that, whether you say it or not, haha. Noah started talking about her without me even asking. She was probably hesitant to tell me about the pregnancy because I was married. She never mentioned it. So, how did you find out she was pregnant? I happened to find a maternity record book in her bag. She probably planned to raise the child on her own, out of respect for me. She's such a noble person. Completely infatuated with Kate, Noah was eager to divorce me as soon as possible and proposed to her. He even had the divorce papers ready. If that's what Noah wanted, it was actually convenient for me. I was more than tired of seeing his face every day. After signing the divorce papers, Noah happily took them and immediately went to submit them to the courthouse. After he left, I quickly packed my things and headed to my parents' house. And just like that, I thought my life with Noah was over. But the next evening, I got a call from Noah. Grace, where are you right now? Where? I'm at my parents' house. Your parents' house. I see. Can you come to the diner nearby? I need to talk to you. If you need to talk, why don't you come here? I can't really do that. Please, I'm begging you, just come. Reluctantly, I headed to the diner he mentioned. There was Noah, looking completely defeated. As soon as he saw me, he said, Grace, please, get back together with me. Huh? Noah, looking distressed, started to explain. The thing is, she turned down my proposal. I swallowed the words. Of course she did. She already had a fiance chosen by her parents. I was just a fling for her. Yeah, I knew that. And the child she's carrying isn't even mine. I figured as much when I heard she was pregnant. It was already common knowledge at our company that Kate was engaged to the heir of another company. When I found out Noah's affair partner was Kate, I tried to tell him about it, but before I could, Noah had already thrown me away and tried to switch to Kate. I didn't feel any obligation to kindly inform him of the truth. Knowing this would happen, I kept quiet the whole time. Kate chose me as her fling because I'm married, and she thought it wouldn't lead to anything serious. But when I told her I divorced my wife, she just brushed me off coldly, saying, "Are you stupid?" Even seeing Noah slump over in despair, I didn't feel the least bit sorry for him. He totally brought this on himself. "Well, you can't really compare you to an heir, can you?" Noah looked at me in shock. How do you know that Kate's fiance is an heir?" I told Noah that Kate was the daughter of a company our firm does business with. Everyone in the office knows that Kate is engaged to an heir. I never would have imagined you were having an affair with her. You knew. Then why didn't you tell me? I was going to tell you when I found out you were cheating with Kate. But then, you told me to get out before I had the chance. So this is what you were talking about back there that you wanted to talk about. That's why I asked, "Are you sure you won't regret it?" You just laughed and said, "I won't." So I was more than happy to explain the reason for our divorce to the family, haha. When you say family, you told your dad too? Of course I did. Why would you do that? It's not too late. Take it back and say it was a mistake. Are you stupid? It's way too late for that. My dad was furious. But honestly, I don't care what he thinks of you anymore. That's not true. I want to fix things between us. It's too late. I have no intention of getting back with you. I want nothing to do with a man who'd switch partners based on their family status like you. No way. And my father already knows who you are. I told him everything you said, including that you could quit your job at any time. You're kidding. My dad said, in that case, he's more than welcome to quit right away. Haha, that's because, at the time, I thought I could get into Kate's company. Haha, full of regrets, aren't you? You should have listened to my advice. I really regret it. So please, give me another chance. Looking at me desperately, Noah pleaded, but I coldly replied, "You don't have any more chances. You must take responsibility for your own actions." I added, as if to catch up with a nodding Noah, "Oh right, I'm done reporting to my parents, so get out of that house as fast as you can." What? You told me to get out, but that house was a gift from my dad to me. The deed is in my name. Wait, but where am I supposed to go? Does it really matter? You'll be moving soon anyway. What do you mean? You haven't heard? You're getting transferred out of New York. What? You're being reassigned to a remote location, haha. You should at least be grateful you didn't get fired. My dad acted quickly after hearing about our divorce. He immediately arranged for Noah's transfer and decided to assign him to a remote area far from New York. That department was also known as a place where candidates for downsizing were often sent. That's totally unprofessional. No, it's not. Sure, my dad was angry because of me, but the reason he kicked you off the fast track had nothing to do with that. He calmly judged that someone who lacks loyalty to the company and has no integrity shouldn't be in the upper management. And you're okay with your husband being sent off to some backwater? Ex-husband, we're nothing but strangers now. Grace, don't be so cold. Now that you're alone, don't you feel lonely yet? Huh? What kind of delusional thinking is that? You say you suffered through our marriage, but guess what? I did too. I put up with your insults and your womanizing because I didn't want to upset my dad. Now that I'm free from all that, I feel completely refreshed. Grace, don't say that. Please help me. Shut up. Enjoy working hard on those unwanted assignments in the middle of nowhere. I got up from my seat without listening to his last words. I walked out of the diner without looking back even once. Why did I stay with such an unfaithful, pathetic man for so long? I couldn't understand it myself. After that, I got help from a lawyer my dad introduced, and I sent Noah a bill for alimony. Desperate to cling to the company, Noah used up his savings and paid the full amount right away. I quickly got what I was owed, and I was relieved to finally cut ties with Noah completely. I heard that, after his savings were wiped out by the alimony payment, he's now living a very frugal life in that remote place. The fastest track among the younger staff. That's what they used to say about him, but those days are long gone. They say he looks much older now, with no trace of his former self. As for me, ever since I divorced Noah, I've been living an easy and comfortable life. When my former company heard I got divorced, they begged me to come back. I was so moved that they recognized me for who I am, not because of my dad's connections, that I decided to return to work. I've always loved my job, so I didn't hesitate to go back. Maybe because my dad feels guilty for introducing me to such a loser, he keeps bringing me new matchmaking proposals. But I've turned them all down. Someday, if a good person comes along, I might consider marriage again. But for now, I want to enjoy this fulfilling single life just a little bit longer. Thanks to the alimony Noah deposited, I have plenty of money. It looks like my life, where I can fully enjoy both work and my personal time, is going to continue for a while.
Thank you for watching the video until the end. If you enjoyed the story, please give it a like. If you're interested in other stories, please subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.